What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. Back at it with another reaction. We got another fantastic hip hop video, and the boy is spiraling. Why Drake announced his new album and no one cares. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 5K. So let's go ahead and check this out because I didn't know he dropped a new album. The latest thing that I heard, he was beefing with somebody, basketball player, and everything just seemed whack.
Now, as it's getting colder outside, we have been getting closer to one of the next major moments in the hip hop world as following the beef and the all time whooping we saw Drake get from Kendrick Lamar. We are finally
Yeah.
on the verge of getting a full length album from one of the participants in this genre altering moment in rap music, and while we are still waiting for what Kendrick Lamar has coming, Drake's made it clear that despite him still never giving everyone those summer vibes that he promised after he got humiliated by Kendrick, and despite being the absolute biggest joke in hip hop for almost this entire whole year, that he is still going to try to even the score and change the narrative of what's going on this year with an album of his own. And now, after being kicked around the way he has, Drake's made it clear that he's not going to be standing on his own with a solo album, but that he is going to be representing his homeland of Canada once again after neglecting it for so long, as he is tapping right back in with his roots and his fellow OVO signee and R&B singer Party Next Door for an entire collab album. And while Drake announced this album back in the summer, and we know that from the way rappers in general and Drake also over the years have hinted at giving us collab albums that never come to fruition, this could have just been another empty promise that would never actually happen. From what we have seen in recent weeks, this is not the case at all, and this album is real, and it is seemingly gonna be dropping within the following weeks, as beyond Party Next Door's own comments about the record, which have been trying to just create an ounce of hype for new Drake music at this moment in time, Drake announced to the world that the album is coming soon on a post Party Next Door made, where he alluded to the fact that after dropping a solo album this year, that he is preparing to do something else before 2024.
You know what's funny is Kendrick really did a number on them. Anytime I hear Party Next Door, I'm just all like, probably in a fight playing with his nose. That and the type of people, it's just all like you would think at some point, whether it was going to be permanent or not, but at some point you would try to distance yourself for a little bit while it's still hot. You know what I mean? Like I said, even if it wasn't permanently, it's just, man, everybody Kendrick had mentioned. And for Drake to just be maneuvering as such, it's just all like at the end of the day, I guess you gotta let the person bump their head or whatever. But what's crazy is that certain type of rappers, it just feels like there's no one in their corner that's telling them like an older head or a mentor or something like that. Like, hey, maybe this might not be the right idea, or maybe there is, they're just not listening. But it's the same sentiments that I have with Lil Wayne. A lot of people was looking at the video I reacted to from Deleted, and they thought what he was saying, what I was saying was hatred to Lil Wayne. And I'm just all like, how can you look at how Lil Wayne has been and not be worried? And to think, nah, that's just Lil Wayne. No, it's sad. And Deleted broke down other artists that are in his age and why this is an issue, you know? And so when I look at Drake's situation, I'm just all like, nobody. I mean, he had his mom, I guess, say something and recorded it, but it's just like now it just seems like it's almost like the whole Jack Doherty thing, where everything that he's doing is just for the appearance. Everyone gets used for some type of prop within Drake's life. You know what I mean? So it's just weird. It's just weird. So him, out of all the people to drop an album with, I guess to try to help his own label, I guess, you know, but he would pick this time, I guess.
And Drake chimed in on this post saying, "It's that time," which is showing us that after over a year of not getting a new Drake album, which is a lot of time considering how frequently he releases, and after the biggest beef in hip hop pretty much ever went down, which he was obviously a part of, Drake is now telling people that the next chapter in his musical career is about to come. And now the reaction to this saw people acting like this. And I mean, after Drake laid out these comments in an era where if any rapper alludes to a project, people just go absolutely crazy. And people start predicting and hyping up what this new record may sound like, who may be featured, and what type of impact it will end up having. Instead of seeing this same type of hype that we always do for big time records in this era, everyone in and around hip hop seemed to turn their
wearing my damn raincoat in a recent video that I did. Just because of that. Just because of that, Drake. You made it look even more corny. No, I probably made it look corny for sure. But, man.
backs and reject the very prospect of this album in its entirety as they just went on with their lives. And now, while this is shocking in a way because after all, regardless of the outcome of the beef, Drake is still a massive name in music whose back catalog is still making him one of the most streamed artists alive. When we look into everything beyond the perception of Drake and the value his older work holds, if we dive into the actual numbers, despite what his fans may try to tell you, Drake's career, even all these months after everything went down, is in the gutter, as we have now seen solid and standing proof that the Kendrick beef really did hurt him in ways that he will never come back from no matter what. Because just to put things in perspective, after Drake was a mainstay on the Billboard Hot 100, always having a hit song on the charts and really having a brand so powerful that no matter what he released, the song was almost a lock for not just any part of the charts, but at least the top 10. Now at this point, for the first time in years, he has no music occupying any corner of the charts for months, which for an artist that thrives on being a hitmaker and winning over the masses, the fact that Drake is not on the charts for this long is devastating to his reputation, and this isn't just because he has not put out any music in a while, because that's not the case, but it's because the songs he has released have not had any staying power, as every song he dropped besides one have failed to crack the top 50 on the charts, and almost all these new records were off the Hot 100 after their first week of tracking, because the only reason people even listened to them in the first place was to see how Drake was going to be following up such a massive and career-altering moment.
This video is sponsored by yours truly, Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and for the month of October on my Mr. Composition Music YouTube page, I am doing one-shot music video a day. So for 31 days there will be a new one-shot video, and the goal is to get that channel to 1,000 subscribers. So make sure to check that out, subscribe, show some love to the videos, and drop a comment, man. Let me know that you came from this channel. But anyways, guys, back to the video.
Yeah, and the thing is that there's Drake fans that are just gonna be holding out for extreme copium on how, oh, he's still this and he's still that. A lot of their comments have aged poorly as the months have went by, and the reason why I talk about it is because it's still fascinating. Like, I haven't talked about every single thing that Drake has done, or that the whole Kendrick and Drake have been doing, because that's not what this channel is about. I just, as a rapper myself and as a fan, it's interesting to just see all this stuff go down. So I just give my perspective, but this right here is proof of what this had did. And what's crazy is you would think if the fans was that, hoorah about Drake, as far as like he's doing these particular type of numbers, then there's fans that are supporting him by way of comments, whether it's just a reflex because you want to be in chaos or you want to argue or something like that, but they're not showing up in his numbers, or he would be in the Billboard. So the fact that maybe what's left is his core fan base, and the core fan base isn't as big as we thought it was, I mean, it's just very, very interesting, because his strategy of the way he releases it doesn't seem to be working anymore. I think that he does need to give some space in between and really recalibrate. It's just like, is he at a deficit to where he has the release, or he's gonna go bankrupt or something like that? I highly doubt it, but maybe it could be. So I just don't understand unless he really thinks that there's not an issue and that everything he's doing is correct, but you can't see those numbers and think, all right, yeah, everything's good. This is just, I mean, yeah, it is a moment to where it's a low time, but this is wild considering what Drake has done as far as in the charts, so it's going to be interesting to see, how that all plays out. If you want to, see the rest of this video that I'm reacting to, I'll leave it in the description. But other than that, let me know what y'all's thoughts are in the comments. It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, back at it with another reaction. Make sure to like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video. On the road to 5K. Make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.